This is eCoffee with Experts, where marketers and founders share what's actually working in SEO, AI, and digital growth. Grab your coffee and fuel your mind as we chat with top minds about their wins, struggles, and lessons you won't find in a blog post. Brought to you by Digital Web Solutions, we bring real talk to help you grow your business, one episode at a time. Let's get started.
Sure.
I want to hear more about this app because, like I said, I also just launched an app, and I think the future of business is custom bespoke apps for each business use case, right? Of course, we have bigger SaaS platforms right now. We have CRM platforms. You have design tools that you use, which are subsidized by ChatGPT now.
Yeah.
But I'm curious, what app were you building on Replit, and what was it for, and what does it do?
Yeah. So currently there's another app called Builder Trend. It's really big in the industry where contractors or construction companies can use to manage their project. It is a little clunky. It's outdated. I don't like all the features of it. It's not fully customized to your needs. There's a lot of clicks before you get to the destination, and it's not fully integrated with everything that we do. So we try to use pieces of it, and it's very expensive too. And recently, the customer service is not up there as it used to be. When I started dabbling with Replit, I found a huge opportunity where we could create something that's fully customizable to our niche and industry. And now I have APIs that are syncing with this system that, reflect the numbers on QuickBooks or my accounting software, my Go High Level, which is my CRM.
Mm-hmm.
And the data is just being pushed back and forth. And it was very simple to create. Everything was, I just basically dictated what I wanted, and it was just working for me.
Yeah.
It is at that point where it's more of an MVP than an actual full functional app. But
Yeah.
I'm talking to somebody that's more seasoned in this, and maybe with 10 hours of his time, we could launch this thing and make it go live for our personal use.
Yeah. Yeah. And the cool thing about that is you are using that to solve a problem for yourself. However, it's probably not out of the picture that other building companies, other design firms, whatever, there's many things that you do, small pieces of it. Other people like you is what I'm saying. Your competitors will have a need for that as well. And how easy would it be for you to rebrand that piece of software, flip it to somebody else's branding, and then essentially sell it to someone else for basically no skin off your back? I mean, it would be great. It would help them as long as you obviously still have the competitive advantage. But these sort of spin-off businesses that can be MVP'd in a week and get user feedback and become fully functional, I think that's the way of the future.
Yeah, it sounds like it. I mean, it's kind of when Hollywood, with all these influencers are making content online on Instagram or other spaces where, it's on an independent level now, where, people could actually create software themselves. This is huge.
Yeah, exactly. People can create software themselves. If you're willing to share, where's your primary acquisition source for customers right now?
So mainly, I mean, we've tried a lot of marketing stuff in the past, but most of it, 90%, is the old traditional, drive by the job site and they see our sign and they call us.
Mm-hmm.
We get a lot of business like that from just the signs that we put up at the construction sites.
Mm-hmm.
And referrals, mainly referrals. But we do have, now and then we do have somebody that comes from online, and we have recently, I've heard a few clients that referred ChatGPT, which was interesting too.
Let me ask about that, because in my world, in the marketing world, in the marketing tech, I guess, world, everybody is talking about AEO, which is answer engine optimization. And there's a whole lot of strategy, a whole lot of basically hypotheses to what we can do online. What can we do to our website? What can we do with other people's websites mentioning ours? What really makes a difference to show up when people are asking about certain things? How do I, who's the best builder in Irvine, California? What should I be paying for XYZ service? Did you notice, or let me ask you this, when those people came to you and they said ChatGPT is where we found you, did you ask them what they were searching for?
For example, one of them said, I was looking for top general contractor in Orange County. And that's when that came up. So I don't know if it has a lot to do with SEO. Maybe we've ranked highly on those keywords and it comes up. I'm not really sure how that works, but
Interesting. Yeah.
well, you might know better. I don't know.
Yeah. There's a couple tools I could reference. I'll tell you afterwards what maybe happened. But basically what happens is there's the traditional SEO algorithm, which is mostly Google, right? when we think of SEO, search engines, most people think of Google. So there has to be some sort of authority, some sort of alignment, some sort of retrieval mechanism to pull your website into the top like 10 links on page one when people
Mhm.
are searching for specific keywords or phrases, right? But there's now this machine layer on top of that. It's not separate, but it's not all the way ingrained with traditional SEO. It's like a separate layer. So basically, you have to have the website get retrieved by the original SEO, like traditional SEO. It has to have enough authority. It has to be aligned with specific keywords. But then what we're finding is there's an additional layer, like an additional pass through of content and formatting, structure, and authority that is optimized for AI in terms of like token optimization. AI doesn't read like we do left to right, top to bottom. It reads in tokens and it's looking for complete answers all at once. So like
Mhm.
a title and then an answer right below it that answers what that title asks. So these are
Oh,
like
wow.
there's like different ways to optimize, but you're right. The base level of SEO has to be there.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah. So I'm curious. What other forms of marketing are you guys doing?
We do a little bit of, well, right now we just launched, we're working on this campaign to do a lot more meta marketing.
Mhm.
We've done in the past. It wasn't very successful, but we signed up with another marketing agency, and we're trying to do a lot of the funneling and
Mhm.
landing pages and try to get clients to get qualified into the sequence and see if that works.
I mean, when you're talking about a package or like a client that comes in, I guess two questions. What's your most popular like package or job? Like, is it building an entire home or is it
Yeah.
like a specific construction project? Okay, new builds probably.
Yeah, so we're ground up construction mainly. Our niche is to do ground up. Typically, the clients that we have, they have an old house, maybe a 2,000 square foot house on a 6,000 square foot lot, and they tear the whole thing down, and we build ground up. We
Mm,
uh, do everything from A to Z.
mm.
We're
And when
full design build firm. So from usually clients don't know where to start or what to do. So when they come to us, it's a lot of hand holding. We're the concierge service where like we help them with the full design of the of their vision. If they have a dream or something they want to talk, we talk about it and then we design it for them. We have an architectural team in house. We have structural engineers, and then we do the full build out and construction management as well.
So for someone that has, for your example, a 2,000 square foot house on a 6,000 square foot piece of property in Orange County, these are not like first time home buyers, I assume.
Typically they have equity in their home. Everybody has equity in Montreal,
Yeah.
and especially in Irvine, Newport area where we work mainly. There's a lot of money in these homes. They bought it 4 or 5 years ago, maybe for $1.5 million. Now it's worth $4 million. You know,
Yeah.
it just
Incredible.
skyrockets over a few years. Yeah. And
Mm,
then they have the space and the means. They pull the equity out of the house and they build, and it really makes sense. It's a huge like win for them because cost to build is around anywhere from $400 to $600 a square foot. Then cost per square foot in these areas is around $1,000 to $2,000 a square foot. So they
wow.
double their money right away.
Yeah. Yeah. Man. So you're targeting the people that aren't necessarily first-time home buyers, or maybe they are, but it seems like typically they're not. In order to get into a house like that, they I'm assuming you'll have to correct me, like what sort of demographic or psychographic or like economic background are the people that you serve typically? Like if you're looking at like your highest margin, best people to work with.
Yeah, typically they're like maybe age group of 35 to 55, something like that. And then they are always, almost always, it's like a family or a husband and wife with kids or something, or they're expecting children, or
Mhm.
they're moving from far away to this area. We get a lot of overseas immigration, like from other countries where they come
Mhm.
here and buy a property and they want to renovate it or add value to it.
Mm.
We get a lot of that stuff too because they have cash that they bring with them.
Mm. Of course.
Yeah, so that's kinda or people that have lived in the house for 20 plus years and, now they have a bunch of money, equity, they're doing well for themselves, and then they wanna spend a couple $1,000,000 on redoing their house.
Hey, we hope you're enjoying the coffee and the conversation so far. This show is powered by Digital Web Solutions, and if you've ever wondered how the biggest brands actually build authority, this is it. DWS has a massive network of over 250,000 publishers, real sites that help you rank on Google, and more importantly, stay visible in AI search. It's the heavy lifting most teams just can't do on their own. As a thank you for listening, they're offering an exclusive free strategy call just for our eCoffee listeners. It's a great way to map out your authority plan for 2026. Just click the link below to book yours and see how they can help scale your brand. All right, now let's get back to the show. So with Builderwell, the people that are coming to you are, 35 to 55. Are they pretty much primarily coming because, I mean, I'm sure they have all different reasons, but are they looking to like maximize their investment so they can take out a bigger HELOC so they can, XYZ, maximize that return? Or is it because they're interested in the aesthetic, or they just need more space because they have kids? I'm sure there's a bunch, but like, what would you say is the primary reason that people come and choose Builderwell over another?
Typically, they're expanding in some way, shape, or form. They've outgrown their house,
Okay.
so they need more space. And when they come for us, they know that we can take care of everything from A to Z. So we're full design build firm. So we help them from. A lot of times they have no idea where to start, and it's
Mhm.
overwhelming to even think about starting because you're like, what am I supposed to do? So when they come to us, we initiate that conversation and try to find out their needs, and then we always recommend like a design package for them at first to just
Mhm.
show them the vision of what we can do for them, and then we do a lot of hand holding until we fine tune, the possibilities of their house and what we can do for them.
Mhm.
So typically, the clients they're clueless and they don't know what to do. They don't know anything about permitting process or getting city permits from the city, and or they could be very busy. They're busy with their own doings and they want a hands-off approach, and they hire us to take care of all their construction needs. A
Mm.
lot of times, we even have overseas clients where they are in China, and they've probably seen the house once and somebody bought it for them, and then we coordinate on a couple Zoom calls, and then with our app, we keep them up to date because we provide them with a schedule for the project from A to Z, and we constantly update daily logs for them so they can see what's going on and the changes. It's a very hands-off approach. Typically, when they give us the key, we take care of everything for them from A to Z.
Yeah, and that requires, from the experience that I have, typically the people with a higher budget, they want a more bespoke, like you guys are the experts and they let you do your thing, right? As opposed to the people who are lower
Yeah,
budget, they're like every dollar is like a large percentage of my budget, right? And so they
100.
want to be beside you each step of the way, like not just watching, but they want to be there every step of the way. How do you communicate that type of confidence other than, because they've probably not been through a full build with you previously. This is their first time doing business with you, right? How do
Yeah.
you communicate that confidence?
Well, the thing is, before back in when we just started a few years back, we've been in business for 10 years now. But like the first 3-4 years, all we did was bathrooms and kitchen remodels and smaller ticket items.
Mhm.
Maybe our average ticket was 20, 30, $50,000. But then we realized that hey, we have like 100 customers in a year, 150 customers in a year,
Mm.
and managing expectations of all these customers over the smallest little things like grout lines and expectations like you said, their budget was only for one bathroom. For example,
Yeah.
he has $15,000 in his name and that's all he can spend for the next, I don't know, 3-4 years, and it became very tedious. So then
Mm.
we completely pivoted, so now we don't take any projects less than $500,000.
Mhm.
That's our minimum ticket amounts. And naturally, you get different audience,
Mhm.
and it's that audience that we try to serve now. And so we could nurture the right people. We only do like 10, maybe 15 jobs a year, but everybody's very personable to us, and it's a relationship company, and everybody that works for the company knows all of our clients and all of their expectations and everything from A to Z. And we're very involved in that cycle.
Mm. Mhm. Ye So going from project basis, kitchens and bath into full on ground up builds, I'm sure there was Tony Robbins is one of my mentors that I look up to. And
Oh,
he
that's
says,
funny. I've been to all of his seminars. Yeah, go ahead.
really? Oh my
Yeah,
gosh,
yeah.
so cool. Very cool. My second one was actually in LA back in 2019.
Which one did you do? That's
UPW. No.
UPW? Okay.
Yeah.
UPW, yeah. He was here recently. Did you go to that one?
No, I haven't been to one since, gosh, Singapore? couple years ago. Yeah.
Singapore? Oh, wow.
I lived in Malaysia, so it was like, it was like California to Arizona, which is where I'm at now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That makes sense.
Wild stuff. But he says, so Tony Robbins says that a decision happens in a moment, even if it takes a long time to get there. So I'm sure there was a transition period where you're like, man, thinking about it, we got to get out of kitchens and baths. It makes so much more sense for us to do this builds. But it probably wasn't, you had that thought for a long time before you actually took action on it. What was it like to finally make the decision? And was it a clear cut? Like, we're no longer accepting these, or was it like here and there, kind of 50-50 until you fully transition? Tell me what that was like.
Uh, Yeah, so it's actually once you get into construction, you realize that kitchen and bath is really not construction. Anybody
Mm,
could do it. It's kind of
mm,
like, I don't know, general practitioner compared to a brain surgeon.
mm,
So, and when you're building a house from scratch, it's 100 times more rewarding. It's
mm,
exciting, and it's you see dirt turn into beauty, right? Like this
mm,
dream of the client or whatever. It's like it's a lot more passion goes into it.
mhm,
It's real creation for me. Like, it's like, giving birth to a child, it's like that, it's like
mm,
nothing turns into something, right?
mhm,
But, well, then, over the years, the more, I got involved, the more I was interested in pursuing the foundation, framing, behind the walls kind of construction, and then the design aesthetics of the construction really mattered. So, naturally, just steered away from kitchen and bathrooms, and as calls and leads would come in, we would turn them down because that's not where
mm,
the passion was anymore. So,
mhm.
and we changed our marketing tactics to advertise more of a bigger projects and more of ground up ADUs, new construction,
Mhm.
whole home
Mhm.
remodels and stuff like that. And that's how it all started.
What kind of an impact did it have on the business when you started turning people away for the smaller projects?
A lot of freedom, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I bet. I bet.
Because there was less stress for the business, because we were a very lean team. We only have 7 people in-house,
Mm,
and, the attention of those people on one project compared to 50 projects, it's a huge, huge difference for everyone, for our morale, for the customers. So it's a lot more hand-holding, and we really take care of our clients now. It was a decision that we made, and, didn't look back after that. We've been doing this for, like, 4 years now, I think, going in
yeah.
this model, and it's working really well for us.
Yeah, I love that. And I'm so glad that you said that because some of our audience, like I mentioned before, they're agency founders. Like they have their own business. We're building a little different things than you are. It's a lot more, a lot more of this as the tool rather than the hammer and the drill and laying the foundation. But there's concepts that transfer, right? I
Sure.
mean, you're still running a business, you're still building things, it's still a service, and there's still an outcome, a deliverable that's required. For someone who's in that position where they're like, man, I'm kind of servicing everybody. I have a small team, but I'm taking smaller projects. It's not where I want to be. I want to do more of the big builds. I want to get higher ticket people because I know that's a different type of person. Someone who goes to Date with Destiny is different than someone who has like the bronze ticket at UPW,
Yeah, yeah, that's
or
yeah,
like platinum elite or whatever they call it, where it's like $100,000 a year to do it,
yeah.
just to be in the front row with Tony Robbins. What kind of advice would you give them, or like what would you say if they're like right on that edge?
To who you mean? Advice to somebody that is
Yeah,
trying to make
those
the leap?
those founders who are like taking the smaller projects because they think that's how they have to stay alive. They're easy, they're quick, but they really want to
Mm.
get into like the full ground up, brand redesign, website, full service marketing strategy.
Yeah, so I mean, honestly, if you just bite the bullet and put the time and effort into it and knowledge, of course, you gotta know your trade, know your field, know what you're doing,
Mm,
and put the time into it once, then you build a legacy out of that. Because
mm,
now you pivot, you shift, but then your audience changes, your pocket grows, everything just comes along with it that's worth the hard times that you put into it. So
mm,
it's like, once you do that once, it's very easy to, like, duplicate and replicate and do it over and over and over again. Completely
mm,
pivot from smaller, kitchen and bathrooms to, like, new construction. It just has to happen one time, and you do it
mm.
right, and you understand what you're doing, and you read the plans, and you understand your teams, and you're able to solve problems along the path, then that's it. I think it's well worth it. It's like education in school. You learn it
Yeah.
once, and then you carry it forever.
Yeah. Have you ever messed up a project that was like a pretty big flub and you had to correct it, or how did you, if you've done that, how do you manage that with the client?
Um, I mean, there's always something that could go wrong in construction.
Yeah.
I mean, that happened. Yeah, it happens before. You just set the right expectations. There was I don't know if we really messed up, and I never had any legal issues or
Mm,
anything like severe that we messed up. I could say, oh yeah, there was one contract that we had where I wasn't involved myself. My project manager hired somebody that was incompetent, and we put up some paneling on the wall, and the paneling failed.
mm,
That caused a trickle down effect to me, and now that project manager is no longer with us,
mm.
which, we have to own up to it and talk to the customer. Transparency is key for me. I wanna keep everything transparent, honest. Integrity is the top of our, values here. So, we just have open, honest conversations with people. We tell them, hey, this is what went wrong, and this is what we got to do to fix it. More than anything, it's time that, especially when you're a homeowner and residential, people's time is really important. If a 8-month project turns into a 10-month project, that makes a huge difference in them because they're houseless for two
Yeah.
months. But if you could overcome those objectives and, do whatever we can to overcome it. We'll do whatever it takes. We always make sure that everything is right, and we kinda have a, Costco policy. If you're not happy, we'll make you happy.
Yeah.
Type.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And $1.50 hot dogs.
Except we don't have this.
Maybe it's a marketing strategy. Just kidding. So tell me, all right. So I love that transparency is at the top of the company's values. Talk to me a little bit about leadership. You have a lean team. What sort of leadership principles come from your personal belief system that you implement into your company?
Yeah, so as far as leadership goes, I feel like everybody that's here is a leader.
Mm,
Only nurture leaders. There's no micromanagement, no oversight on anybody, no telling people to show up to work. Even our vacation policy is we have no vacation policy. Take whatever days you want off if you feel
mm,
like it's the right thing to do.
mm,
So if you wanna go for 2 weeks, go for 2 weeks, but you have responsibilities that you have to make sure that are taken care of while you're gone.
mm,
However, and typically people don't really take days off here. People show up and they stay long days, they put heart into it, they work with passion. Everybody's owner of their own segments. They take ownership of what they're supposed to do and they get it done. There's no like hovering above anybody's head or trying to micromanage or anything like that. We have a problem and we have to solve this problem. And you guys are grown professionals and, they're the assets here. So they, more than anything, honestly, I think I have a really good team and,
mm.
or the biggest assets in our company to be able
Yeah.
to tackle challenges and get things done right with the first time.
Yeah. Treat people.
Yes, treat them like adults, and then we don't take shortcuts either, and everything's transparent. Like I said, we have an app that we keep track of. We have thousands of daily logs and pictures on every project for every project that we do, and we tell everybody to post good, bad, ugly, full transparency. So like whatever it is, the homeowner could see it, internal staff, the workers, everybody could see what's going on and keep track of like the sequence of the job and the
Mm,
project.
mm,
Yeah. We
mhm.
build everything like we're building for ourselves. There's no cutting corners or, shortcutting or bringing surprises.
Yeah.
And that's another thing. We don't bring new team members. They have to earn their way into it. So like we don't send up your project to 4 different subs that we don't know about and have everybody bid and then take the cheapest bid and then, let alone, go into the space and we don't know what it all turns out to because we didn't vet the person properly. Typically, people that work for us, they've been with us for 4 or 5 years,
Mm.
all the subs and vendors, and they have experience and they know our expectations.
Mm. Yeah, I love that. I mean, that's kind of like if you're bringing on a new team member, instead of just going through an interview process where they tell you how good they are, you give them a trial project. Obviously, in building, if there's a client on the other end, it's a little bit different. I would imagine you have some sort of. I mean, well, before I assume, when is the last time you hired somebody on the team? I imagine it's been a while.
So, yeah, I mean, I do some projects on the side too where I do fix and flips and,
Mm-hmm.
development projects, and typically, if I bring new subs or vendors, I would bring them onto my own project first
Mm.
and have them
Mm-hmm.
work for me. And then if they show proof that they can do a good job, then I'll bring them to a homeowner's house, somebody else's house.
Yeah. Consider bringing them like on the team. Okay, cool. So that kind of covers the leadership and like the leadership development. I really like what you said that everybody on the team is a leader and we treat them like an adult. We, you know, They understand they have their own responsibilities. They can take their own leave when they need it, but they typically feel like they don't need it because they're not being burnt out because they're not being micromanaged. It all fits together, in the grand scheme of things. Tell me about plans for expansion. I mean, there's kind of two sides of things. There's the businesses that are like, this is like everything is perfect right now. I enjoy what I do. I don't want more responsibility. This is cool for me and the lifestyle. And then I've seen others who are like, I want to build and scale this thing to the moon. And I know it's going to require a lot of different skill sets and management and plans. What are your plans? Where are you at?
So yeah, when I started this business, I wasn't very sure of how to expand business. I didn't have business experience too much. I
Mm,
it's just self kind of taught entrepreneur type, kind of figure things out as you go along. So
mhm,
back then, the philosophy was hire cheapest you can and train them to learn, and then they'll stay with you for as long as possible. Then I realized over the years that was probably the worst thing you could possibly do is because when you hire as cheap as you can, you hire probably somebody that doesn't, know anything about the industry. What I gained from that was coachability. They were coachable people that I work with.
mm,
A couple of key players that are still with me right now. They they started from long time ago, and they were coachable, and they were willing to learn, and they were willing to give whatever it takes to make it work.
mhm,
That's the kind of mentality that, that I am after now, but if I'm actually trying we're working on scaling right now, and
mhm,
the idea is to only bring in A players, somebody
mhm,
that's done the work before or knows more than what we know in that department that could excel and take this department to the next level. We are capped with our knowledge, so bringing outside knowledge that could actually elevate the knowledge that we have is the key where we stand right now.
yeah, I love that, and that takes a certain degree of trust, and kinda like you said, you can vet vendors who become subcontractors who then can have the potential to work with you on a full-time basis, but it does take trust to essentially put someone in a department and say, "Hey, you're gonna lead this. You're responsible for finding the right people." How do you think about trust? And I have a follow-up question to that, but the first thing is, like, how do you think about trust? How do you build that?
I believe that everybody is worthy of being trustworthy. Everybody wants to be trusted, and everybody has that drive to create something out of themselves and make themselves be a part of something, because that's when you get the most satisfaction in life, is when you feel like you have a sense of belonging in a space and
Yeah.
you're creating. When you're creating and you have a platform where you can actually create and be creative is, I think, where everybody flourishes the most.
Mm,
For me, it's not about trust. I trust everyone. I don't bring anybody with doubts or mistrust. If I hire somebody, I should have trusted him to hire him. And now when
mm,
he's here, he gets to run the show the way he wants to, because that's the caliber of person that I'm looking for.
mhm.
To that, it's beyond trust. It's integrity. It's yeah, and not micromanaging and allowing people to flourish. I've seen that go a long way for me.
Mhm.
They step up, they do things that you did not expect, and they overcome all obstacles and able to flourish.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, I really like the mindset. I think you and I have a lot in common. I am
Yeah.
typically very trustworthy of people, and the idea is innocent until proven guilty. And,
Exactly. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, I think that's not the case for a lot of founders who have maybe been burned in the past. They kinda hold the opposite. They're like, "I'm going to micromanage you until you can prove that you're trustworthy." And, like, there's a little bit of give and take. We're not dumb. Like, we're not gonna hire somebody who's a very obvious, fraud. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I would rather believe in people, give them the benefit of the doubt, and then have them prove me right over and over, and then thank me for giving them an opportunity and believing in them. And like, the reason I was acting out in the past is because I felt stifled and micromanaged and I was mad. It's a lot of weird emotions that people have when founders try and take too much control and they don't believe in their people.
100%, 100%. Yeah, the most important thing is trust and believe in somebody. If
Yeah.
you believe in them, they'll always surprise you.
Mm,
Um,
yeah. I'd rather have someone prove me right. Yeah.
prove you
Yeah, exactly. So is there anything else that we haven't touched on, Alan, that you want to communicate to the audience? Again, these are a lot of business owners, digital entrepreneurs, marketing people. because you've been successful, especially in one of the most demanding and competitive markets for real estate, Orange County. Anything that you'd want to communicate of something you think you do especially well and others can learn from?
Yeah, I mean, I think we have a very strong like relationship base with our customers and try to really just everything. I mean, if I'm talking about a business, everything it bottoms down with the customer first, right? So like if you take care of your clients and you really nurture them and you make sure that they're happy and give them service that they paid for, then typically it turns into more service, more business, and referrals and leads, and it just grows from there. So we're always trying to do everything that we do the right way, and have integrity. Perseverance is really important too. You keep doing it until you get results, of course, and not give up because a lot of times it's easy. I mean, I'll tell you a story. When I started the business, I had a partner, and in the first 6 months when we started the business, I didn't know anything about construction. I knew marketing, but he knew construction. So we got a couple leads. They were both like we got a couple of small jobs, 5,000, 6,000, $10,000. For a span of 6 months together, we made like a couple $1,000 in profits.
Mm,
Then we split the profits, and the guy's like, "Look, man, this is a horrible business. We're not making any money in this business." And for that reason, I'm out. I'm not gonna stay. You could keep
mm,
the company for yourself. There's no money in it. I'm gonna go do something else. I was like,
mm,
"Are you sure?" "Yes." I was like, "All right." Then we split. He went his own way. I had bought a house, my first house at that time, and then I took the walls off, and I didn't even know what was behind drywall because he was a construction guy.
mm,
But once I realized that, hey, it's, studs, and I remodeled the whole house myself, then I learned what construction was about.
mm.
Then I stuck with it, and I just stuck with it, and I went through the weeding those little customers here and there until we got the right clients, and then one after another, it just picked up, and it became a real business over the years. So just sticking with it is really important. That's a lot of times people want to get into something and they quit
Mm.
and they lose traction for whatever reason because they fail a couple times. Doesn't mean that's the end of the story. You got to keep doing it, persevere, and then eventually it's the law of physics was
Mm.
was up.
Yeah. Something in motion stays in motion until an outside force acts upon it physically
Exactly.
and mentally, psychologically, emotionally too.
There you
Right.
go.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, as we wrap up here, it seems like you have to have a strong vision or some sort of innate sense that things are going to continue to get better as long as you stay in there, as long as you stay in the game, basically. And there's a book by Simon Sinek called The Infinite Game. And the whole concept is the point of the game is not to win. The point of the game is to keep playing the game. And I think I see that in you and other people like you, Alan, who are really winning and staying in things long term. Is like you said, they bring passion to the game. They're not there just to make the money. The money means you end the game. If that's like the outcome and like there's a time where the scoreboard ends, if you never have if you never have a timer that determines the outcome of the game, you never lose. And I think that's what I see in you. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, of course. It's a process. Enjoy the process.
Yeah. Yeah.
Enjoy the process, not the destination.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, where can we find out more about you? Where can we find out more about the business and keep up to date
Yeah.
with what Builderwell is doing?
We are online on Instagram, Builderwell, and we have a website, builderwell.com, and we're local business in Irvine, California. We have a design studio here. If clients want to come and see us, we're here. Um, yeah, that's it.
Cool. Well, I appreciate you getting on here, sharing your founder story, some leadership principles with us. And I hope people reach out if they want a new home or a tear down rebuild or an investment property.
Thank you.
Thanks for being
Thank you
here.
so much.
Cheers.
Thank you.